Good evening, Mason families. Today I'd like to give you an update of all that's been going on over from these last 10 days. These last 10 days have been a trial for all of us. Lots of emotions, ups and downs, lots of wonders of what's going to happen and how's it going to happen, and so I understand where you're at because I'm living through it with you. Ladies and gentlemen, the first thing I'd like to advise you of is one day at a time to 1 week at a time. And really, that's all we can be thinking about at this point in time right here is getting through one day at a time and 1 week at a time. Because if we start to try and think further past that point, it just changes. A great example would be last Friday, we were preparing for one direction to do something, and within 3 hours, it turned and went a completely different way. And so right now, one day to 1 week at a time. And I know this is hard. And it's very hard to do, especially when we start thinking about our seniors and graduation and the what ifs. Are we going to have graduation? Are we not going to have graduation? What's going to happen out there? And all I can tell you is if anything changes, we will meet it head on. We have great people, problem solvers around us, and we'll figure out what to do to create great memories for our kids. But right now, let's focus on one day to 1 week at a time. The next item for the update is meals. And the first thing I'd like to do is thank our food service department for all of their hard work in preparing thousands of meals this week, to our volunteers that have come in and helped with the delivery of them, and our bus drivers. This work was a great undertaking and has been handled very well by all of them, and I'm appreciative of their work there. The next item is enhancement lessons. Yesterday you saw an email come from the school, and in that email was a letter that was crafted by all the superintendents in the county, and in that letter it talked about what instruction looks like during this time. And it's all about reteaching and not going forward in work that kids wouldn't know, but it's a reteaching time. And that really got validated today by MDE coming out and stating through a memo. And many of you have seen that memo, and I want to just take a moment and read some to you that might help shed some light for you as parents so that you'll just step back and go, okay, we're going to be okay here. And so here it is. MDE sent out the memo in response to many questions that have been fielded. They have been fielding related to the districts being able to transition to online at-home programs during the mandated closure. As superintendent, this memo or content does not surprise me at all, as we were well aware that our state requires learning to take place inside our classrooms for the traditional K-12 public schools. However, please do not read anything into the memo in regards to the potential forgiveness of days missed due to the mandatory state closure. This is something that will be handled through the legislature and the governor's office. And what this really means, ladies and gentlemen, is this. The legislature and the governor, they're going to have to figure out what to do with it. And whatever they decide to do as a school system, we'll step right alongside and we'll figure it out also. Which means if they decide to not forgive the days, we'll work through it. If they decide to forgive the days, we will work through it. And so to think about these materials that we've sent home, these packets or online stuff, all that is just a reteaching time for you. It's materials for your kids to continue to do, so you don't feel like, okay, well they don't have anything. So look at it as an opportunity just to reteach what has happened out there. So as of today, the district does not have any final answers regarding to the remainder of the school year outside of the current school closure schedule, which would end for Mason Consolidated Schools on Monday, April 13th, due to the scheduled spring break. So please, just be patient as we work, as the state and everyone else works through what's going on right here. But know that, again, back to that educational side of it, keep working with your kids on the reteaching. Which brings me to the next item, communication. Our teachers have already been in direct communication with many of our students, and we're going to continue to even move that number up. This next week, teachers and administrators will be reaching out to parents and or students that haven't been engaged yet to find out the reason why. Is it the lack of technology? Is it the lack of internet? What is the reason so we can take down that barrier? And so we need your help with that. And so I'm hoping that this message, video message today will help you to go, okay, to send me an email, or to your principal an email, or to your teacher an email that says, I don't have a piece of technology to do video or telecommunications, or I need the or internet, whatever it might be. We want to continue to work on the communication side, because for our kids, much like us as adults, it's about relationships. We don't want to see these relationships stop, and the cultivation of these relationships, just because we're not seeing each other on a daily basis in the classrooms. And so then finally, I'm asking each one of you is to follow the great practices around taking good care of yourselves. If we want to get through this time period, we need to take good care of ourselves. We need to follow the practices that are in front of us. Right now, the school is following practice of essential staff only. And what that means is we only have 3 to 5 people working right now inside the central office area. And that's to follow and model the practices that have been laid out for us. And so we ask you to know that, and to also follow the same practices that are being guided, so that we can move through this crisis and come out of it as soon as possible. Ladies and gentlemen, I know that this is a tough time, but I also know that we are resilient people, that working together we can survive and cultivate great relationships here, and at the end of the day, continue to meet the needs of each other. And it just takes the teamwork, and I've seen that step happen repeatedly over the last 10 days, and especially this week. And so if you ever need anything, please feel free to email any of us here at the school, and let's see what we can do for you. Take care and be safe this weekend, and look for another update next week. Bye now.